ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं स्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। बोधयामास मैत्रीं निजप्रियाम् नवा अरे पत्युरर्थे पतिः प्रिय इति रयन्। So, by this method of inquiry, which consists in analyzing the preeti, the love that one has got towards these objects and beings, how Brahmananda can be ascertained was taught by Yajnavalkya to his own beloved wife Maitreyi. So the sample quotation is given here. Nava are patyurarthe patih priyaha. So patihi, the husband, is not dear priyaha patyurarthe, for the sake of the husband, but he is dear for the sake of oneself. Actually the Brihadaranyaka quotation is Nava are patyuh kamaya patih priyo bhavati आत्मनस्तु कामाय पतिः प्रियो भवति। बृहदारण्यक 4, 5, 6। अरे अरे Maitreyi, there in the Brihadaranyaka, Patihi, the husband, Patyuhu kamaya priyaha na bhavati. Patyuhu kamaya. Kamaya means prayojanaya. Prayojanaya or sukhaya. Sukhaya, understand? For the sake of, for the pleasure of. So, the husband is not na priyaha. Husband is not dear, or the husband is not longed for the sake of husband, for the sake of the husband, but atmanastu kamaya patih priyo bhavati. The husband is longed for, or the husband is sought after for the sake of oneself. This is what was told. Of course, in this same trend, many statements were made by Yajnavalkya, which will be seen here also. So now the question is, what is, maybe it may be for the, that means the love of the wife for the husband is for the sake of oneself and not for the sake of husband, may be true. The wife's love for the husband's love for the wife may be for the sake of oneself and not for the wife, that is true. But anything that is priya or anything that is dear for the sake of what? What is the reason that makes one, that a particular object or being or an event to be dear to him or her? Have you got anything dear? Yes or no? No. Satya Parama Vairagya. Or at least Vedanta is dear to you or not? That much you should admit, is it not? If at all I give the benefit of doubt and accept that yes, you have got such a Parama Vairagya, at least Vedanta must be dear. Now what for the Vedanta is dear to you? Lot of troubles are involved. Look here, even lifestyle is different and you have to study Sanskrit and there is so much of grammar in that. Then is it an easy job? Is it a pleasing job at all? Huh? So then why you are in for Vedanta? So, okay, leave aside that. So the question is, anything that is dear, why is it dear? For example, can a capsule of potassium cyanide be dear? Provided you know what it is. Can it be dear? Can the poison be dear to anyone? No. Why? It's source of sorrow. A snake, is it dear? Unless the fellow is a snake charmer, also there also it is not dear. He earns money on account of that, is fine. So, anything that is dear is because I get some happiness from that. Whatever that gives joy or happiness is dear to oneself. If there is a thing which I thought that it gives joy, but after some time I discover that whatever I thought is not there and it is not capable of giving the joy, what do? I unceremoniously get rid of it. So, that means whatever that is a source of happiness or joy is dear to everyone. And suppose there are two things. Actually this was not last year, not in the 11th chapter, but in the first chapter. Iyamatma paranandaha parapremaspadam yataha. Actually, what was told is being elaborated here. There, much justice to the subject matter was not done, but the same point is being thoroughly elaborated here. So at that time we had seen this point. So let us say there are two objects, A and B. A gives me joy, so therefore it is dear to me. There is another object, B, which gives me more joy than A. Which is more dear to you? B. Because B is dearer than A because it is capable of giving you more joy than A. Suppose there is an object C which has got capacity to give still more joy than B, it is still dearer than B. Is it not? So, a particular object or being, etc., is dear to me because it is capable of giving me the joy or happiness. That means the joy content, the content of happiness makes a particular object or being dear to me and not otherwise. That is the point. Now you reverse the process. More dearer a thing must be capable of giving you more joy. Suppose if there is a thing which is the most dear, then how much happiness it should be capable of giving you? Or you can say, if there is something which is a locus of what you love, dear means what? You love that object, etc. Is it not? So, therefore, more the joy content, more the love. More dear means more the love. Now let us say, if there is something which is the very limitless happiness, let us say, it must be a locus of limitless love. Other way, if there is something which is the seat of limitless love or the most dear, must be the source of limitless happiness. If this is true, if we succeed in finding that which is the locus of limitless love, that should naturally be the source of limitless happiness. Before that, let us track this word love. Priya, Preeti. Because the word love is so common now. So Preeti, Prema, Preeti, love is so common. But it should be properly understood. It is used very loosely. Anything and everything is called as love or preeti. See, the parents have got affection for the children. We call it as love or preeti. Husband has got infatuation for wife. Wife has got infatuation for husband. We call it as preeti. The friends have got, that means the friendship between them. We call it as love, preeti. In fact, we are misusing the word love. The love word has to be reserved purely for the sake, that is, without the gain of this and that, it is just natural of its own accord. So, therefore, we can say the affection that the parents have got towards the children can be called as anuraga. Anuraga, it can be called as affection. The infatuation between the wife and the husband can be called as moha. So, again, the maitri, the friendship between the friends, instead of calling it love, you can call it as friendship. Actually, the love towards Ishvara is bhakti. And the love, this word has to be reserved for oneself and oneself alone, for Atma and Atma alone, which will be clear when we complete this inquiry that is going to come in this chapter. So, this is a word that is totally misused in the present context. And not only that, in the modern world, love means nothing less than lust, that's all. Lust is parading as love today, which is not at all true. It is a sacred word, preeti or prema or love, has to be reserved for Chaitanya Swarupa Atma and Atma alone, because Atma, I and I alone can be the seat of the limitless love. Nothing can have that status. Okay. So now, if that means if we succeed in finding that which is the seat of the limitless love, that should necessarily be the source of limitless happiness. Okay? Because we have seen that anything that we love or anything that is dear to us is because it is a source of happiness. Depending on the degree of happiness that we can tap from that, it becomes dearer and dearer and dearer. That is the truth. Now it is going to be shown that Atma is I, my Swarupa is limitless Ananda. How come? Because from our experience we can certainly ascertain that I, Atma, is the locus of maximum love, the limitless love. So what is being shown now, right now, is I is the seat of limitless love, and therefore it will be deduced that I, Atma, is nothing but limitless, of the nature of limitless Ananda. So, keeping in view this particular process of analysis, so what he finds that the author is going to show us that what was told in that Nava Are Patyu Arte Patipriya area, etc. That is, what is the content of this Shruti portion? So that is going to be analyzed. Before that, so it is shown that everything is dear for the sake of oneself. So the next stanza 6 tells us that Sarvam Atmartham Priyam Bhavati. Sarvam, whether it is an object, Vishaya, or a being, or an event, all is dear to oneself. Atmartham. Atmartham means Atmanaha Prayojanaya. Now this artha is going to come very often now. So Prayojana, for one's own usefulness, for one's own purpose, for one's own utility. So everything is dear to oneself for the sake of oneself. So that is first shown, and thereafterward the Shruti portion that Atmanastu Kamaya Sarvam Priyam Bhavati. So for the sake of oneself, everything is dear, will be analyzed and shown what exactly is the purpose behind that. Okay. Before that, the next paragraph of Ramakrishna Tika gives the entire methodology of inquiry that is being conducted. Let us see that. Uttaratra Parapremaspadatvena Paramanandaha Ishyatam iti vakyena Parapremaspadatvena hetuna Atmanaha Paramananda Rupatam Sisadhaishu Adau Parapremaspada Hetu Samarthanaya Tavadudahrita Vakyasya Upalakshana Paratam Abhipretya Tat Prakaranastha Sakala Paryaya Vakya Tatparyam Aha. So first you take Atmanaha Paramananda Rupatam Sisadhaishu. The author who is desirous of proving or establishing. So, Atmanaha Paramananda Rupatam. So, the nature of limitless happiness of Atma. Atma is of the nature of limitless happiness. This is what the author wants to prove. He wants to ascertain. So, Sisadhaishu. So, how? By this hetu. So, this reason he is going to give. What is that? Parapremaspadatvena hetuna. Reason, or by pointing out this reason that Atma is parapremaspada. It is the seat of limitless love. So, it is a seat of limitless love, or it is a locus of limitless love. By this hetu. So, where is going to prove that? Later. Uttaratra. Uttaratra means all this is done up to the point stanza 71, and in 72, stanza 72, he is going to point out, he is going to establish that Atma is the locus of limitless happiness. That is what he says. Uttaratra means later up to stanza 71. Parapremaspadatvena paramanandaha ishyatam. In stanza 72, he is going to conclude based on the analysis that he carries out up to 71. So what is going to conclude? That because of the reasons that were given so far, Parapremaspadatvena, Atma being the locus of limitless love, Paramanandaha ishyatam. Atmanaha Paramananda ishyatam. Ishyatam means angikriyatam. May it be accepted that Atma is the locus of limitless happiness. Atma, the nature of Atma is Paramananda. So that is what he is going to establish. Iti Vakyena means by that particular stanza 72. So with the hetu of Parapremaspadatvena hetuna, the author who is going to establish the limitless Ananda Swarupa of Atma. So now to do that, what he has to do? First he should show that Atma is Parapremaspada. Then only he can deduce that it is Paramananda Swarupa. So therefore, to show that Atma is the locus of limitless love, so therefore, Adau in the beginning, you can do Adhyara there, add Atmanaha Parapremaspadatva Hetu Samarthanaya. Samarthanaya, to justify the nature, that means the Hetu, that the reason that was given that Atma is Parapremaspadatva. Atma has the status of being the seat of limitless love, to justify, that means to show that Tavad, that is first of all, Udahrita Vakyasya Upalakshana Paratam Abhipretya. So, keeping in mind, or that means intending that Udahrita Vakya, that in the stanza 5, second line, Navare Patyuhu Arthe Patipriya Priyaha, because so, Vakyasya Upalakshana Paratam Abhipretya. Means having accepted, means having knowing fully well that this is an Upalakshana, an indicatory sentence that was given. So what he does is, Tat Prakaranastha Sakala Paryaya Vakya Tatparyam Aha. So the sum and substance of all the Vakyas that appear in that Prakarana. Which Prakarana? Atmastu Kamaya Sarvam Priyam Bhati. Paryaya Vakya means recurrent sentences, because the same trend, maybe with respect to different objects, etc. it is told. The same trend, so many sentences are given. The Tatparya, the gist of all these sentences is being given here in this sixth stanza, means Sarvam Atmartham Priyam Bhavati. What is it? It is that is everything is dear for the sake of oneself. That's to say, and afterwards analyzes all those statements of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad to show that everything that is dear is for the sake of oneself and not for the sake of the thing or object, etc. So that is not for that. Patirjaya putra vitte Pashu Brahmana Bahujaha Loka Deva Veda Bhute Sarvam Chatmarthata Priyam Patihi Jaya Putra Vitte Pashu Brahmana Bahujaha Lokaha Devaha Veda Bhute Sarvecha Atmarthataha Priyam. All these Atmarthataha Priyam. Atmarthata means Atmanaha or Atma Prayojanataha or Atmanaha Prayojanaya. So now you keep in mind in this section, Artha comes means what? Prayojana. So Adhita. Okay, that is all. And all the Brihadaranyaka quotation comes, Kamaya means Prayojanaya Sukhaya. So that is keep in mind. So Atmarthataha, Atma Prayojanataha, on account of the usefulness of oneself, or Atmanaha Prayojanaya, for the sake of oneself. Okay. All these are the, what are those? One by one. Patihi, husband. Jaya, wife. Putra, son means children. Vitte, so that is the vitta, vittam, that is the wealth. Pashuhu, the cattle in terms of olden days wealth, or also animals. Of course, need not be cattle only, or other animals also, domestic animals. Brahmanaha, so the Brahmana here, the Brahmanatva, the status of being a Brahmana. Bahujaha, Bahujaha, status of being Kshatriya. Lokaha, the heavens, etc. Devaha, all deities. All deities, Devaha. Veda Bhute, Vedaha, Bhutani cha Veda Bhute. So that means Vedas and Bhutas. What are Bhutas here? Panchamaha Bhutas. or anything that is born which is useful to us. So, Veda Bhute, Sarvam cha, all these, Atmarthataha Priyam. So, Atmartha Priyam means they are dear for the sake of oneself, because all these are subservient to the enjoyment of the individual, or the one who experiences, to whom they serve as the means of fulfilling certain purpose. So Tikakara says, Pati Jayadikam Bhogya Jatam. All the Bhogya Jata, Bhogya Samuha, all the things which are fit to be experienced, means here enjoyed by the individual. Bhoktuhu Sheshatva. Because there is something which is Shesha to the Bhokta, the experiencer. Shesha means subservient, being a means to a purpose. So, they are meant to serve certain purpose that is useful for the individual. So therefore, Bhoktuhu Sheshatva, Bhoktuhu Sambandhena Eva Priyam. They are dear with respect to the Bhokta. Means because they are capable of giving joy to the person who wants to enjoy them, therefore they are dear, and not Swarupena, not Swarupena Ityabhipraya, means they are not dear for the sake of themselves. Means actually what is interested, what the person is interested. Those that Pati, Jaya, Putra, Vitya, Pashu, etc. or the joy or happiness one can get from them. It recently happened in Bombay. One gentleman lost his son. He was just 16 or 17 years old, was going in a car, and then something collided with a truck or so, just near the house itself, and on the spot he went. Other friends were there, they somehow escaped, and this fellow was finishing on the spot. But he had that balance of the mind. He took the incident with a very tranquil mind, etc. He was just talking to me. So after these things, sittings, etc., when this topic came, he asked me, now how will you explain this? You are telling me that everything is dear for the sake of oneself. Look, of course, his son was very nice boy as such, very well behaved, very that means intelligent, etc. And in fact, he had that much of love for them. That means that attachment and affinity for him was there. He said, look, I used to love him because he was a nice. That means I'm not for anything as such, just for the sake of that. Means because that is how I had love for him. I thought that's true. Because earlier I was not knowing that gentleman. You are telling me your son was like this. That is fine. Suppose same son. Now God, that means because of something unfortunate thing has happened. Suppose same son was there. And after 3 years, he had changed. He had taken to bad habits. And still you love. And you will try your best to set right him. And still it didn't work. And finally, that means it came to an extent that you can no further tolerate it. What will you do? Get rid of him. Or at least be indifferent. You may not be able to get rid of him. Be indifferent. So that means you are loving the son for what? For the sake of? Because he was a nice boy, etc. Well-behaved boy, an intelligent boy, etc. So that doesn't mean that you are loving him for the sake of him. Of course, as a father, you might have discharged your duties. Here, one thing should be done. This doesn't mean that this doesn't come in the way of discharging one's own duty. So that's a different aspect. So here, what I am telling is, discharging one's own duty is fine, but this is only a statement of the fact that anything that we love is for the sake of oneself and not for the sake of that particular object being, etc. Okay. So like that. So long as a particular object is the source of happiness, we love it. Afterwards, however much we may like to, but it is just not possible, because what we want to have is happiness. Of course, we may discharge the duties, with respect to this thing, there are other norms are there, Dharma Shastra, etc., comes, etc., you will discharge the duties. That is different, but being an object of love is different. So therefore, with all these, Atmarthataha Priyam. Atmartha means Atma Prayojanataha Priyam, because they serve as a means to fulfill a particular purpose that is desired by me. So therefore, that is Atmanaha Prayojanaya Atmartham Sarvam Priyam Bhavati. Where is this said that Atmartham Sarvam Priyam Bhavati? Actually, this is the sum and substance of the particular portion that was taught by Yajnavalkya to Maitreyi. And how exactly? So, it means that anything that one loves is for the sake of oneself is being analyzed. First, the sample quotation: Nava are patyus kamaya patih priyo bhavati, atmastu kamaya patih priyo bhavati. So, this is being analyzed and shown that the wife loves the husband for the sake of oneself and not for the sake of the husband, is being analyzed now. Patya vichya yada patnyaha sada pritim karoti sam Shudanusthana rogadyaihi sada nechati tatparihi yada patnyaha patyau ichha bhavati sandhyade sada sa pritim karoti. Yada tatpatihi, yada can add tatpatihi, yada tatpatihi shudanusthana rogadyaihi, add yuktaha, shudanusthana rogadyaihi, add yuktaha, tada, add tam na ichhati, tada tam na ichhati, yada when patnyaha patyau ichha. No, yes, patyau ichha bhavati. When, it is like this, when the wife has got the desire for husband, means when the wife longs for husband, so when the wife seeks the company of the husband at that time, sa means sa patni, that is jaya, that wife, Pritim karoti. Pritim karoti means seeks the husband. Love here means seeks the husband. When the wife longs for the husband, when she wants the company of the husband, then she seeks him. Now other, when does she not seek him? Yada tatpatihi, tasyaha patihi. Her husband is what? Yuktaha, is endowed with, or has got these things. What is that? Shud anusthana rogadyahi yuktaha. See, when he is hungry, serve him, she may seek him, but she will not long for the company. Yukta adyahi means such thing. When he is busy with, preoccupied with such things, so tada, at that time, so tada tam na ichhati. So the bharya or the patni, tam na ichhati, doesn't seek him, doesn't long for him. If she were to seek the husband, for the sake of the husband, she should seek him all the time. So no, when the favorable disposition is there, favorable time is there, then only she seeks, not otherwise. There, in your Tika, last line, yuktaha bhavati chet tada tam nechati na kamayati. I think there must be a mistake. It should be tam nechati na kamayati. I don't know what is the Lucknow edition. Lucknow tam is there. Okay. This Nirnay Sagar edition, it is tam is there. So that's correct. That it is tam nechati na kamayati. Why I said? Because suppose tomorrow when you study this, for that one sake of tam, you have to break your head or waste the time. I did it. So finally, luckily I got this edition. I think I found from this edition. At times, because this edition is not that way, means it is not critically edited as a carbon copy is there. A few mistakes are there. The same thing has been that means printed there only. But this sum is corrected there. So that means now the question arises. Okay, that is fine. The wife longs for the husband. So that is when she has got desire for him, not otherwise, or when he is not when he is preoccupied with other things or we seek, etc. Okay. What are you going to accomplish from that? What is the purpose of telling all these things? So what are you going to arise from this question? So this is the outcome of this, that fact that was pointed out. Evam cha sati kim phalitam iti ataha. Evam cha sati means if yes, it is true. That means wife seeks the husband like this is correct, it is true. So if that is the case, what is the phalitam? What is the outcome of this? That means fact. न पत्युरर्थे सा प्रीतिः स्वार्थ एव करोति ताम् पतिश्चात्मन एवार्थे न जायार्थे कदाचन. सा प्रीतिः पत्युः अर्थे न भवति. सा प्रीतिः पत्युर्थे न भवति. एंड किंतु ताम स्वार्थे एव करोति. किंतु ताम स्वार्थे एव करोति. पतिः च आत्मनः एव अर्थे करोति. न कदाचन जायार्थे करोति. न कदाचन जायार्थे करोति. पतिश्च आत्मनः एव अर्थे प्रीतिं करोति. ओके, प्रीतिं इज ब्रॉट बैक. प्रीतिं करोति. न कदाचन जायार्थे प्रीतिं करोति. सा प्रीतिः. व्हाट इज दैट सा प्रीति? जायायाः पत्यौ प्रीतिः. So the love of the wife towards the husband. So सा प्रीतिः पत्युः अर्थे न. पत्युः अर्थे means पत्युः प्रयोजनाय न. It is not for the sake of the husband. The wife's love for the husband is not for the sake of the husband. Then what? It is किंतु, whereas ताम. ताम means प्रीतिम. So ताम प्रीतिम स्वार्थे एव करोति. स्वार्थे means swaprayojanaaya eva. For oneself only. Karoti here means not does, entertains. So he entertains that love for the sake of oneself. Does means doesn't sound nice. Entertain. He entertains that love for the husband for the sake of oneself, not for the sake of husband. You may say, what is this? Are the wives like that? Are the ladies like that? Don't worry, this is a general inquiry. Otherwise, Inkilab Jindabad will be there. Not in the ashram. In the public, if I will say, they will say, why are you criticizing the women? They will say as well. No. They say, this is a general thing. The husband does the same thing. The love of the husband toward the wife is for the sake of oneself and not for the sake of the wife. So, of course, it is in a greater detail it will be told now. So, therefore, you say, Patishya, what was told about the wife with respect to the husband, same thing applies to the husband with respect to wife. That's why it is general inquiry as such. There is nothing, no bias here at all. It is not to show that someone is superior, other is inferior, nothing like that. It's a general fact. Okay. Patishya atmanaha evarthe. Patishya, patihicha, even the husband also. Atmanaha evarthe pritim, that means pritim karoti. So, when the husband loves or seeks the company of the wife, it is for the sake of oneself and not for the sake of the wife. Evarthe karoti. So, and not न कदाचन जायार्थे प्रीतिम करोति. Never does he love the wife for the sake of the wife. So this is the fact. So therefore, पतिश्च भर्ता अपि स्वप्रयोजना एव जायायां प्रीतिम करोति न जाया प्रीतये इत्यर्थः. So therefore, each loves the other for the sake of oneself and not for the sake of that particular person. Now one may say, maybe this is so true when everyone, that means, loves the other prompted by one's own desire. But when there is mutual love between these two, it should not be for the sake of oneself, it should be for the sake of other. If the wife longs for the husband, okay, we may say that it is for the sake of oneself and not for the husband. If the husband longs for the wife, we may say that it is for the sake of oneself and not for the wife. But if both husband and wife, that means they long for each other, then it should not be that it is for the sake of oneself, but it should be for the sake of other. This is an argument of Pura Paksha. It says this can't hold water. All that you have pointed out only the time aspect, that each is seeking the other at the one and the same time, but the principle holds good, that means everyone seeks the other for the sake of oneself and not for the sake of other. It's just an extension of what is told here, because some persons may have that concept. So that means when the mutual seeking or love is that, it must be for the sake of other and not for the sake of oneself. So one may think, so that also is made clear now. Tika, nanu एकैक कामनया प्रवृत्तौ प्रीतिः स्वार्था भवतु. युगपत् उभयेच्छया प्रवृत्तौ तु प्रीतेः उभयार्थता स्यात् इति आशंक्य आह. This objection is raised that एकैक कामनया, ekaikasya kamanaya means by the desire of each and everyone. So, pravruttau, when one takes the pursuit, I mean the case of here the both wife and the husband, so that pritihi swartha bhavatu. Let that love be swartha, means swaprayojanaya. Let it be for the sake of oneself. Okay, let us accept that. But yugapad ubhayechaya pravruttautu means if the pursuit is simultaneously by the desires of both, not the desire of one of the two. So therefore, if that is the case, that priti ubhayarthata means of both, ubhaya prayojanata, ubhayarthata means ubhaya prayojanata, it is for the sake of both, iti ashankya means it is for each other. So such a doubt is possible. The answer is given in the next canto. Anyonya preranepi evam svechayaiva pravartatam. Anyonyam preranepevam svechayaiva pravartanam. Anyonya prerane api evam svechaya eva pravartanam bhavati. Anyonya prerane api. So if the prompting is because of mutual love, means mutual seeking, husband seeking the wife, wife seeking the husband simultaneously, anyonya prerane api, even in such case also, evam means as told earlier, svechaya eva pravartana, that particular pursuit is svechaya eva, means is for the sake of oneself. Svechaya swakamana puranechaya eva means to fulfill the swaprayojana, to fulfill one's own purpose and not for the sake of others. All that is pointed out is that means a concurrence of the both longing at the same time, that's okay, but it is prompted by each one's desire to fulfill, that means each one's prayojana for oneself and not for the other. So therefore, what was told earlier still holds good. There is no change in that. Now, so that longing of the one for the sake of oneself and not for the sake of other is further explained with help of another example. स्वेच्छया प्रवर्तनम एव दर्शयति. स्वेच्छया is swaprayojana purnaya, means to fulfill one's own ends. So pravartanam, the pursuit is taken to, that is now shown with the help of an illustration. श्मश्रुकण्टकवेधेन बाले रुदति तत्पिता चुम्बत्ते वनसा प्रीतिः बालार्थे स्वार्थ एव सा. श्मश्रुकण्टकवेधेन बाले रुदति and sati api. Bale rudati sati api. Very nice illustration. See, you can see the observation of Bharati Tirtha. So you say sati and api you can add there. Tat pita chumbati eva. Sa pritihi balarthe na. Sa swarthe eva bhavati. Sa priti balarthe na. Example is like this. A father who had not shaven the beard for 2 days. Okay. Not one whose beard is so clean. A father who had not shaved the beard for let us say 2 days or so, he kisses his child. And child is what? Maybe 10 months or a year old. And whatever. The child feels so uncomfortable with that piercing of the beard. So child cries, but what does the father do? He continues to kiss because he derives the joy. Of course, maybe with a permissible limit of tolerance of the child. That is true. Of course, father will not harm the child, but to the extent it can tolerate, he will kiss the child as such. Now come on, tell me, is it for the sake of the child? The child is crying. it can't bash the harsh beard of the father. And mustaches, of course, beard and mustaches, especially mustaches. It cries, and still father continues to kiss. Now, for whose sake it is? For the sake of oneself only, not for the sake of the child. If it were for the child, he has to stop because the child is crying. He says, Shmashru kantaka vedena. Shmashru means mustaches, kantaka means thought. The fellow must be having hard mustaches. Smashru kantaka vedena. So by the Veda means piercing. By piercing of the hard mustaches of the father, see, Bale rudati sati. Even when the child cries, okay, otherwise okay, the child also giggles, that's fine, because the child also is happy. No, the child can't bear that piercing touch of the mustaches. Bale rudati sati api. Even if the child, that means, continues to cry, tat pita. So that means tasya pita, the father of the child, chumbati eva. He kisses means he continues to kiss the child. Otherwise he should have stopped. The child is crying. So now come on, tell me, for whose sake it is? Of course, he is not angry with the child. Happily he is kissing, means he fondles the child. But it is not for the sake of the child, for the sake of oneself. So therefore he says, he points out that is the fact. Sa pritihi balarthe na. That particular priti of the father. Balarthe na means balasya prayojanaya. No, it is not for the sake of the child. Why do you say it is not for the sake? The child is crying. If it were there, if it were happy, that's fine. But the child is crying, so it is not for the sake of the child. And for whose sake it is? Sa pritihi. That love of the father toward the child in such kissing. Swarthe eva. Kintu. Whereas it is kintu sa pritihi. Swarthe eva means swaprayojanaya eva bhavati. It is for the sake of oneself. Therefore, anyone who loves the other loves for the sake of oneself and not for the sake of that particular person. Now to drive home this point still further, he gives other examples. See, look here. In the case of living beings, there is a room for doubt that whether the preeti, the love is for oneself or for the sake of others. Means because one can argue, no, it is not for the sake of myself, it is for the sake of others. One may miss, there is a room for such doubt. Or for whose sake the love is, one can certainly doubt to this effect. Now you point out. Now who can love? Or who can have a desire for something? A living being, is it not? Now, not that everyone loves living beings only. That means that we love that means inert things also. Now, can the inert thing have love for anything, or can it have desire to gain something from others? No. In that case, it shows that one who loves that particular inert object loves it for the sake of oneself, because there is no question of loving it for the sake of object, because the object is inert in nature. Therefore, there is no room for such doubt at all in those cases, even though one may perhaps hear doubt to that effect. चेतनेषु पति जाया पुत्रेषु क्रियमाणायाः प्रीतेः स्वार्थत्व परार्थत्व संदेह संभवात्. This possibility is that, means doubting what that is, Chetaneshu, among the sentient beings, what are namely Pati, Jaya, Putreshu. So, in the case of husband, wife, children, Priyamanayaha Pritehi. That means the love that one entertains, the love that is entertained towards the sentient beings like husband, etc. Swarthatva, Pararthatva, Sandeha, Sambhava. So, that is, such a doubt is possible. Means, is it Swarthatva? Means, Saprayojanatva. So, is it for the sake of oneself? Pararthatva. Is it for the sake of others? Means, Katarasmai Prayojanayati Sandehaspadatva. So, for whose sake is the love? Is it for the sake of oneself, for the sake of others? There is a room for such doubt. Now he points out a case where such doubt is not at all possible, because other entity is inert in nature. There is no question of it having any desire from the other, that it having any expectation from the others. Acetanattvena ichchamatrarahitasya vitta vishayasya pritehe tat pritehe, you can add there, tat shanka eva nasti. Acetanattvena, those things which are inert in nature, and because being inert in nature, acetanattvena means because being inert in nature, ichchamatrarahitasya vitta vishayasya. The vitta, the wealth, being inert, has no desire of its own. Has the wealth any desire? Oh, no, I should go to that person and that person should be rich. Is it that way? No. That person can earn and become rich. But wealth by itself has no desire to that effect. So, ichchamatrarahitasya vitta vishayasya, add there, pritehe tat shanka eva nasti, means pararthatva shanka eva nasti. So, means loving the vitta for the sake of vitta, means loving the wealth for the sake of wealth is not there, because wealth has no desire whatsoever. Being inert in nature, it can't entertain any desire. So, tat shankaya nasti iti abhipretya, means thinking this way. So now he says the nava are vittasya kamaya vittam priyam bhavati atmastu kamaya vittam priyam bhavati iti asya vakyasya tatparyam aha. So, the gist of the Brihadaranyaka quoted the statement that the wealth is not dear for the sake of wealth, but it is dear for the sake of oneself. So, nava are, O Maitreyi, vittasya kamaya vittam priyam na bhavati. The wealth is not longed for, or wealth is not sought after for the sake of, that means wealth. So, atmanastu kamaya vittam priyam bhavati, it is sought after for the sake of oneself. See, if wealth is sought after for the sake of wealth, one should seek the wealth all the time. Suppose there is a case, there is something. Let us say, a person on voyage, let us going in a boat. He had lot of gold with him, carrying gold. Now the boat is sinking. What will he do? He will tie all that bundle to his waist and jump in the ocean. What is dearer to him now? Or better than that, let us say, a multi-millionaire having a lot of money, number 2 also, not number 1. Number 2, liquid cash was there inside, and income tax raid has come. And somehow it happened that, income tax raid, it means that he got the news that they are going to raid within no time. What will you do? It may be a matter of prestige also, because the person was known to be a very a prestigious person. What will you do? If there is an opportunity to somehow, even he may lose that money, he will just, let me throw it somewhere to show that I don't have anything. Why? Means Vitta was wanted by him not for the sake of Vitta, for the sake of pleasure that the Vitta, the wealth is capable of giving him. That means, so here it says, that means, again, that is, wealth that is sought is not for the sake of the wealth, but for the sake of oneself. Continuing. Nirichamapi ratnadi vittam yatnena palayan pritim karoti saswarte vittarthatvam na shankitam. Nirichamapi ratnadi vittam or taking Niricham ratnadi vittam api. Take api later. Niricham ratnadi vittam api. Yatnena palayan saha swarte pritim karoti vittarthatvam na shankitam. Vittarthatvam na shankitam. Niricham ratnadi vittam api. Now ratnadi vittam, the wealth in terms of ratna, etc., jewels, etc., any types of wealth, it can be various types of wealth can be taken into account. So nirichamapi, though which has no desires of their own. Why they have no desires of their own? Because they are inert in nature, they can't entertain any desires. So this wealth which has no desire of its own, even then, api yatnena palayan. So he protects that wealth by all effort, yatnena, because protection also is not easy. So earning wealth is difficult, protecting is again difficult, spending is still more difficult because the person doesn't want to part with it. So all the difficult only. So therefore, that being the case, yatnena palayan. So protecting it with great effort. Yatnena means with great effort. Saha means saha purusha, that person. Swarte pritim karoti. So swarte, swaprayojanaya, for the sake of oneself. Pritim karoti. He entertains the love towards the wealth. For the sake of oneself, not for the sake of the wealth. So that is what he says. Vittartham na shankitam. There is no doubt whatsoever. Now na shankitam is it. Earlier it was not for the sake of others. Here there is no doubt about it. Why? Because wealth can't have any desire. So therefore, vittarthatvam means vitta prayojanatvam. Vitta prayojanatvam means for the sake of the wealth can never be. It is doubted because wealth cannot entertain any desire, or wealth can't expect anything to be gained from the other person. Vittarthatvam na shankitam. So first, with respect to the persons who are capable of entertaining love towards each other was shown, and there it was pointed out. that it is for the sake of oneself and not for the sake of others. Then the case wherein one of the two is incapable of entertaining any love and therefore the love is for the sake of oneself. Now still further, when the other being is verily opposed to this, and yet the person loves it for the sake of oneself only, because there is no possibility of the other living, though it is a living being, having anything to be expected from this person. For example, the domestic animals like bull, etc. The owner of the bull, he uses the bull for plowing the field or carrying the load like donkeys, etc. For whose sake? Is the donkey so crazy to carry the load? So suppose the bull is not, that means not dragging the cart. What will the cart owner do? He will beat the bull. Even though bull is not interested in that, and still he beats it for the sake of who. That love for the bull is for the sake of whom? For the sake of oneself and not for the sake of that particular animal. Chetanatve api vahanaadichharahita pashu vishayasya nava are pashunam iti asya vakyasya tatparyamah. Actually he is taking one by one these sentences from Brihadaranyaka. So, and pointing out that the love is for the sake of oneself and not for the other. Chetanatve api, even though a sentient being, because earlier example was that of inert thing, therefore even though a sentient being, vahanaadichharahita pashu vishayasya, about an animal, what type of animal? Which is not interested in carrying the load. Vahanadi, that which has no desire whatsoever to carry the load. Therefore, vahanadichharahita pashu vishayasya, that means nava are pashunam ityasya vakyasya tatparyamaha. So that is, in that case, the love is for the sake of oneself and not for the sake of that particular animal, which is told in the Brihadaranyaka Vakya. Nava are pashunam kamaya pashavah priya bhavanti atmanastu kamaya pashavah priya bhavanti. That is a complete sentence there. Okay. Nava are pashunam kamaya pashavah priyaha bhavanti atmanastu kamaya pashavah priyaha bhavanti. So that is not the, that means the animals are not there for the sake of animals, but they are for the sake of oneself. The meaning of this is being told in the forthcoming sentence. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहीषा गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं शोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।